Cuttino Mobley, 11 seasons in the NBA. So, I mean, here we have this mystery of Kawhi Leonard. I'll tell you, my sources say Toronto and Lakers, either one. I do think it's funny. The Clippers have been totally quiet, no leaks, not a peep, and apparently they're third.
Jerry West, baby.
Not a peep. Is there a place you hope Kawhi lands?
Okay, so for me, because I have a love for the Clippers, I would love for Kawhi to go to the Clippers. Okay, I just think he fits well with them. Jerry West, Doc Rivers, Patrick Beverly, who I love to death, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams. You know, they have a great bench. You know, I just love for him to be at the Clippers. It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of like the Toronto team on the West.
It's a younger version of Toronto.
Right, on the West. Right? I just think if he fits the best there.
But the problem being, the Clippers were an 8 seed last year. He can't take 22 games off. The West is better. He could take that time off in Toronto because the East is so bad, the bottom half. And the Lakers have 2 stars in Kuzma. He could probably take 12 to 15 off there.
True.
I think that's the load management issue. You know, Kawhi admitted, Cuttino, he's like, listen, the days off helped me.
Yeah.
And even with the days off, he looked gassed in a couple of games late.
For sure.
Listen, it's a cardio league. I think it's tough. I will say this, though, is that if you worried about the big picture, I don't mind him going to Los Angeles.
Best place for him is Los Angeles.
In terms of basketball?
Lakers.
Why?
Well, there's a couple of different reasons, right? If he signs with Toronto, it's 190. If he signs with anyone else, it's 140, right? So you're losing $50 million if you're not with Toronto. Now, you made an amazing point. It's a cardio league. So if I'm with the Clippers, they scratch in the 8th, 7th. We don't know what's going to happen this next year. Teams has gotten better in the West. It's hard if I sit out. But if I'm with the Lakers, I'm with LeBron James, who has the best body in the world, right? The best conditioning in the world, right? Out of 16 years, he's only been injured once. I want to go there. I'm going to get on his regiment when it comes to my body, my conditioning. That's one. 2 is I can take off some games, even when I'm playing, because I have AD, LeBron. And you know what I mean? Like, LeBron's just that type of guy. Now, the third one is, if I go to the Lakers and I get the 140, whatever I get, I'm saying to Magic and LeBron, listen, if I come here, put me in your businesses. So that $50 million that I lost against Toronto, I don't care. I'm making it up with you guys in perpetuity the rest of my life in companies.
By the way, Kevin Durant did this with the Warriors. John, you remember this because John used to work in the Bay Area. The Warriors said in their pitch, we'll get you into the Silicon Valley crowd.
Oh, gosh.
And he was able to invest in a lot of these Bay Area companies.
Yeah.
And he's still invested, so he can leave now and go to Brooklyn. It doesn't matter. But that was part of the pitch.
Yep.
So, no. I want to shift to Kevin Durant. I heard this morning he doesn't like Steve Kerr or didn't get along with Steve Kerr. And I'm like, dude, at some point, you didn't get along with the Bay Area media, which is pretty soft. You didn't get along with the medical staff. You didn't get along with Draymond Green. Isn't some of this on Kevin Durant? Maybe he just doesn't get along with people.
Listen, Draymond Green is the one who recruited you first. That's the first thing. And I heard that he, I guess he jumped on Stephen A. Smith about what Stephen A. Smith said. He jumped on Skip Bayless, and he jump on you, he'll jump on me and Chris Boucher. So what's the common denominator here, right? Like, at the end of the day, you got the matches in your pocket. It's the only reason places are getting on fire is because you keep striking matches. It's nothing about everybody else. That's just my point, right? It's like, you don't get along with these people. Let's look in the mirror and figure out why, right? It must be deep-rooted. Something else is going on. Right? It's not about basketball. It's about our inner self, my opinion.
I always had this theory. Let's talk, and Kevin Durant certainly qualifies as one of the 7 or 8 American sports stars. He's in that top dozen, right? Tom Brady. Just hear me out. It's my theory on this.
Okay.
Because I've seen this happen in the media.
Right.
Tom Brady, married, lots of kids. Steph Curry, married, kids.
Right.
Russell Wilson, married, kids.
Right.
You're too busy. Who are the guys that get into media skirmishes?
Yes.
Kevin Durant, not married, no kids. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, not married, no kids. Kyrie Irving, not married, no kids. Yeah. OBJ, not married, no kids.
Yeah.
You're on this all day. I can't be on this all day. I got kids screaming at me.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
You got your wife, you got your kids. Married. I've seen this in the media.
Yeah.
I have seen people blow up their careers it's never people that are married with kids.
Yeah.
It's the single talk show host. It's the on this getting into skirmishes all day with people.
Listen, I think you're 100% right. I'm telling you. They always say idle time is the devil's playground.
Right.
And he has too much time.
Cuttino, the next year,
he's in trouble.
He's going to do 2 hours of rehab and go to this and watch shows like this all day.
And listen, you're in Brooklyn. Okay, you're not with the Knicks. You're still in Brooklyn. You're still in New York. Like, that's tough.
You can't go outside if you're a 7-footer and you're a superstar. You can't hide. Mike Trout can hide in Anaheim. Puts on sunglasses. Nobody knows who he is. NBA stars can't hide. You're inside in the winter. Done with rehab at 10 in the morning. Sitting around till 11 at night.
Brooklyn?
I got nothing against Brooklyn.
Are we serious? No, I don't either. But the history of New Yorkers.
30th in attendance.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be. Vegas thinks it's going to be first or second best team in the league going forward. I think it's going to be incredibly turbulent. Oh, I got to ask you about this because this reminded me of you. So we always like to bury people. Like I remember as a kid growing up, Muhammad Ali's done. George Foreman's going to beat him, and then they go to Zaire, and the heart of a champion. Right. Muhammad Ali rose. We bury the Patriots every time they have a bad
every
September.
Single time.
Warriors, we buried them, but Kevin Durant was restless, and they knew it. Mm-hmm. They didn't come home one day and the wife left you.
Right.
She'd been complaining for 2 years.
Yes.
So the minute Kevin Durant leaves, they get Willie Cauley-Stein, they solve their big problem.
I love it.
Kayvon Looney takes a pay discount.
I love it.
And D'Angelo Russell. Now, I love D'Angelo Russell. He actually reminds me of your game, a crafty playmaker, a little lefty.
Yeah.
See, I think it works for at least a year.
Yes.
Now, everybody's telling me their styles, Steph and D'Angelo, don't work. What do you see with their styles?
Well, I don't know if listen, I'm not saying that people don't know what they're talking about, but if you look at D'Angelo Russell and the history of how he plays the game, he's a playmaker.
No question.
Right? And he's a great offensive one-on-one player. So if you think about Stephen Curry, who's amazing off the ball, right?
It's impossible to keep up with Steph.
You can't.
And by the way, James Harden, if you go back to when Kevin Durant didn't play for the Warriors against the Rockets, their offense without Durant ran so much. Yeah. I think Chris Paul and Harden wore out chasing Steph and Clay.
That's exactly what it is. Because, see, psychologically, what you have to do is, and I deal with this with the big three. You know, we play weekends in the big three. I think about players. We'll play on a Saturday or a Sunday. If we play on a Saturday, I start thinking about them on Sunday and Monday. After that, I erase my brain from them and then focus on myself. So a lot of players become worried of other players they have to play before they're playing. When you have to play Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or this person or that person, you're thinking about them throughout the week. That's mentally draining in itself. Yeah. So now you have to play Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. You're running around all day long. You yourself are not going to be 100% on the offensive end or 100% on the defensive end, right? You're going to be in between, which takes away from a lot of your strengths. If it was just a regular game, it's not a regular game. You're playing Stephen Curry. You're playing Klay Thompson. Now you have D'Angelo Russell, who's running around, passing the ball, can score on anybody by himself. So now you can't leave Steph. You can't leave. To me, it's a lot more dangerous to have those three on the court together.
Well, to your point, Steph is so good off the ball.
Good.
And he's pretty egoless. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think that Steph's the kind of guy, like James Harden's game, he needs the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Kyrie Irving's game, he needs the ball.
Think about it like this. Brooklyn. You had Dinwiddie, you had LeVert, and you had D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell still did well, right? And Dinwiddie and LeVert, no disrespect to them, are not better than Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, right? When D'Angelo Russell goes to play with these guys, with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, the way they move without the ball, his game will elevate so much. Stephen Curry shot one more field goal than Kevin Durant last year. Just one more field goal. And was super efficient. Now he has somebody that's going to be a true point guard that's a combo guard that's literally on the floor with him. I just feel bad for defenders.
No, I mean, Curry has shown an ability to play with other stars, surrender the basketball.
All day long.
All day long. Cuttino Mobley, good seeing you, man. Leads the big three in scoring, by the way.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.